Welcome back to A Minute with Alan. With great trepidation, I tell you that this episode is titled Kids. If you don't have kids, you might not want to listen. If you don't have kids, you might want to listen in regard, how well off you are. I don't know. There was a great song, Kids. I think it was from Bye Bye Birdie. It was a wonderful parody. What's the matter with kids these days? Paul Lind, I think, sang it. Anyway, once upon a time, in the basement of the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Hong Kong, way before the changeover, when I was in charge of the Far East, among other things, I sat in this basement in the bar with the president of the company who had come over on the trip with me, who was a terrible guy. He had no morals. He was an ineffective leader and just not a nice guy. But I was obligated to sit there with him, so I might as well drink. And we started talking about kids. I can't remember why, but he had two kids. I had two kids, which I still do, fortunately. But they were very young. And he said to me, as we whined and complained, he said to me, Alan, listen, you can never make your kids poor. He said, you and I grew up with a hunger. We had nothing. And that hunger propelled us, either somewhat or mainly, on the road we're on today. But you can't duplicate that for your kids. You can never make them poor. They'll never know the feeling. And as I sat there and realized that the bourbon had not yet taken root, he was damn right. And when I discussed that with my wife, we decided the only thing we could do really is to instill values. My son would say, hey, look, Dad, I know you walked barefoot to school in the snow and you rode on a shovel with charcoal and it was uphill. And yeah, it was uphill both ways. However, you can demonstrate for your kids as best you can. You can show them how to handle moral dilemmas. You can show them how to handle the aftermath of an argument, which all married couples have. I have news for you. You can show them how to behave, how to apologize, maybe what life's about. And even at my family's dinner table, and the dinner table has largely disappeared today, even though we were poor, I would hear my parents try to work out how to pay the bills, how to conform with some, social norm that they needed to conform to, even though they couldn't afford it, how to deal with the relatives and so forth. And I learned things in this debate. I learned things in this discussion, just sitting there, throwing hamburger in my mouth. And so I would advise you that you instill whatever values you can whenever you can, even when your kids are adults. And that's the best you can do. I stopped trying to make them poor. I also have stopped trying to make them rich. And if they come in here and start putting labels on the furniture, they're out.